Kushman. So today we will have a chat with Mr. Darpan Vasudev on relationship issues among youth. So hello Darpan Vasudev.
I I don't think we need to chat. Like, let's have a exchange in views, Rohini.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So what's your say about the relationships which are happening these days and the culture which is going on among you? Rather than empowering, it's become more of distraction. What's your say on it?
It's a wonderful question. Actually, I think within the youth, what is happening is there is a lot of issue in clarity in terms of what is it that they want to become, in terms of what is it they want to achieve in life.
Right.
And the reason they get into relationships, and if you're talking about a boy girl relationship or a man, whatever is their orientation, I think the bigger issue is that, of course, there are environmental factors, there are biological needs.
Mm.
People want to get into relationships because everybody else is doing it. Till the time you do it because you think there is a need, because there's a trend, you will look cool. Till the time you think that it's necessary to have a partner, I think there will always be distractions, and it will not empower you.
Mm.
So the most important thing in life is to first of all identify yourself, understand what is it that you need to do, what is it that you want to become in life, whether it's your career, your family, whether it's your health, wealth, whatever that is. And when you start building yourself up, then you understand the importance of somebody in your life, right?
Right.
You don't do it because everybody has a girlfriend, everybody has a boyfriend, or because it's shown in movies that when you fall in love, your life changes, that fantasy and that la la land. If you start believing that, if you get trapped into the fantasy world, or just because others are doing, you will always look at it as distraction. And you're right. See, beautiful relationships can actually empower you. They can make you beautiful. They can complete you. They can push you forward. They can give you a orientation. It can give you a lot of energy, enthusiasm. And good relationships are a wonderful thing. But only thing is, you should know why you're getting into a relationship. You should know what is it that will, sort of ignite inside of you, and that will propel you to move forward in life. But it's very, very important to understand that whatever is that you want to achieve in life, that is very clear, and that you're running after that. Then relationships are meaningful, they are beautiful, they are really empowering. Otherwise, obviously, there are distractions. Anything that is done without consciousness, without giving it a thought, anything that is done without understanding who you are will always lead to confusions. And that confusion will become a distraction,
Sure.
right? And what will happen is then you will get seduced into the idea of being dependent on somebody,
Correct.
right? And you feel like that is the be all and end all of your world. And
Right.
you start thinking about that person all the time. Obviously, it's a distraction. And then you will go off guard. You will not be able to focus on things that are important. And after some time, you will come to a stage where you would have already, consumed that time where you could have really spent building yourself, have better other relationships, build a career, build, health. And then maybe you'll regret, and then you will think that relationships are of no use, right? And that they have been the major cause of your probably downfall or a failure.
By the time it will be too late.
Yes, correct. So what are your views on that?
As you said, any relationship will make you complete. I feel that we are already complete. Okay. And any
Wonderful.
relationship would come and make you complete. I don't believe in it. I'm so sorry to disagree with your statement. But as an individual, if you understand the purpose, you will, if you know what your goals are, I think you'll walk in the same path. But unfortunately, there's a lot of peer pressure now among youth. I mean, if one of your friends is having a relationship, okay, she has a boyfriend, and another girl doesn't have, then they are looked down. I
Mm.
mean, we are living in this generation where students do talk all this openly. So for just to succumb to the situation, they just start talking, not even understanding what the repercussions would be.
Absolutely. I think it is a fair point, and somewhere that's what I meant is we get carried away. Sometimes we watch a lot of movies and we get
Yes,
seduced
exactly.
in the idea of that romance.
Exactly, exactly.
Yes, and
So they're buying. See, movie
yeah,
is an entertainment field
yeah,
and they
correct.
can create anything.
That's a
So
fantasy trap.
fantasy world and love
Yeah.
is so beautiful. The songs, the lyrics are so intense. So children, I mean teenagers especially get involved into that so much and they get carried away. It's very common.
Not just that. I mean, see, love actually is a beautiful feeling.
It
You
is
need to
indeed.
have
It
a
is.
companion. But now, what you rightly said, it's very important to love yourself first, understand
Yes.
yourself. You're
Yes.
complete. Hey, see, that's what I'm saying. See, the thing is, when I say complete, in the sense that sometimes, and you're right, that we are sufficient, and we have to keep saying that I don't need somebody's validation or somebody's help or motivation to complete me. But what happens is that by the virtue of being in a relationship, there are certain things that the other person, a person with the right intention,
Right.
is going to help you with. Because see, at the end of all, we are social animals, right? There is a certain amount of interdependence.
Yes.
There is a certain amount of validation that we always seek. You don't seek validation, but what happens is when there are some areas, some facets of your mind which you are not able to sort of identify, this beautiful partner can help you do that.
Correct.
But this is possible only, like you rightly said, when you are self driven, when you have a purpose,
Right.
when you want to achieve something. And I also think that, you shouldn't be going around looking for people. You shouldn't be looking for partners or somebody who will complete you and all that.
Yes.
You build yourself, right? And those people who come in the way, or who come when you become what you want to become, or in the process of becoming what you want to become, those people are really valuable. They will come and genuinely help you. And that's what I meant by completeness, right? It's not that you are incomplete, but maybe in order to achieve something, whether it is a spiritual journey, it's an emotional journey, a psychological journey, it's a financial journey, you want to achieve something in life. Those people who come to help you, they are your actual friends and partners. Now, if in that friendship, in that companionship, in that togetherness, if you find that you both are sort of complementing each other, helping each other, I think that is the relationship that's the most beautiful.
But what do you think is the right age for all this? Now we're talking about adolescence, right?
Mhm.
I mean, youth, right? So now every school, for that matter, every school, right, from eighth standard or seventh standard, for say, they have this boyfriend girlfriend thing.
Mm.
Now, do you think all these things which you have spoken about, are
No,
important to pursue?
yeah, you say they don't apply to them, maybe.
Of course.
Yeah, no, of course not. See, the kids, see, there is a
The kids will.
hormonal,
That's a hormonal rush.
yeah, and that's the hormonal biological need. And then
Yes.
again, the same thing about, being cool that I have a boyfriend, being cool
Yes,
that I have a
exactly.
girlfriend.
That's what I'm trying to
And
tell
those are
you.
all puppy loves, and
Yeah,
that's an
yeah.
infatuation, attraction,
Right,
which is probably coming from that space of your mind where you
right.
feel that you need to hang around with people, you need to look cool, you need to go and brag and boast to others that I have a girlfriend, I have the
Correct.
most smart, the most
So,
happening.
what do you think? I mean, having a girlfriend or boyfriend just to, boast, is it a good idea?
Not just in relationship, in anything in this world, just to seek validation, just to flaunt, just to show off to others. I think that's never a good idea. And in anything,
Right.
even if I'm making a body, it's to for my fitness.
Exactly.
It's to feel energetic, to be able to sort of work more, be enthusiastic, have a proper body mind soul connection, not to show off to anybody, right? And
But these things are only known and understood at a certain point of, your
life,
life,
yeah.
at certain age. Before that, I mean, all these things don't get into their heads. And how many parents are contributing for their emotional growth or emotional development or spiritual growth?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question, and I've had so many engagements with parents. Yeah, I mean, most of the parents are, either unconscious, not
Yes.
so, progressive,
Right.
or not so aware of what's happening, and or maybe they're all working, they're busy, and and also some parents think it's all right, that they will learn on their own. These are
Yes,
broadly
yes.
the kind of categories of parents that I've met. So wherever the child feels that there's an inner lack, he has been deprived of basic love, emotions, affection, care,
Right.
or they what happens, it becomes very easy for them to fall in the trap of love, somebody giving them a slight attention, somebody being slightly charming, good in
It's very
communication,
obvious.
looks, and also they most cases these kids easily kind of get carried away because they have that void inside them, they have that emptiness, they are looking for the love that they think they were always deprived of. So then, parental guidance at that time becomes a little difficult because, already the child is suffering. And, but yeah, in other instances, of course, it's the cool thing. And everything is fine in the family. Everything is going good. Parents are loving, caring, giving all the attention that the child needs, or maybe sometimes even more. But the child goes out, and they feel that because everybody has a boyfriend, girlfriend, I need to have a better one. My guy should be better looking, should be maybe wealthier, more
Yeah,
charming,
yeah.
more smarting. And the guy is saying, I need to have the best looking girl. This is definitely not love. These are relationships. But I've also seen a lot of times, teenagers, they resolve the matters in their head, sooner or later, in a lot of cases, and if they're not able to, then they fall in that trap of back to back relationships, heartbreaks, one person going, the other person is a betrayal issue. And then it becomes extremely depressing for the child. And
So I feel this the pattern of changing the partners, or or having a person for validation, is mostly it comes mostly from the childhood trauma. If they do not have, if they have not found that love or attention from the parents, then they seek it from outside, as you have rightly mentioned. So that childhood trauma has to be healed first.
yeah, it
We
is.
cannot change a person who is already evolving,
Yeah, true.
and who already has evolved. Rather, we have to break
Yeah,
the yeah
these that are shaping their
cycle.
minds.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it is the responsibility of the parents to take some time out, other than focusing just not on making money and
Our career of the
or
child, or
career.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most of the parents are running after money. They think that by providing every materialistic comfort, they are the best parents. But in fact, it is not right. How much time are you catering to your children? How much time are you allocating to talk to them, trying to understand them? What kind of
Wonderful.
atmosphere are you giving, are you creating at home? How are you treating your wife? All this matters. And those impressions will be strongly there in the heads of the children.
Absolutely. Of course, there are some other factors also. There's a long research done, not now, ages ago, by Sigmund Freud. And of course,
Yes.
these things are, I mean, maybe not right on this podcast, but a lot of cases are also to do with other issues in their childhood.
Right.
It could be, an abuse from an
Oh,
outsider, right?
yes.
And which
Yes,
is
it
a
could be.
very, very, very intense trauma that the child
Yes, yes.
experiences. And then that's when they start looking for partners outside, or they've been deceived and betrayed by their friends. Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes families are okay, but they've had some external issues,
Right.
right? But as far as families are concerned, it's true. If there is enough love, support, encouragement, affection, care given to the child, in most cases, they are emotionally secure. And that is why you will see, of course, it's not fair on my part to generalize this, but you'll see a lot of times, these children who are brought up in secure joint families, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm sure even they look for relationship, but they are not so emotionally insecure.
Exactly.
Yeah, they are not so emotionally disturbed. They are not so emotionally unstable.
Correct.
Right. There is a certain, but this is not to say that they don't get into relationships.
Yeah. But
But
the ratio.
yeah,
Yeah.
ratio, and also the seeking is different.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
These kids who were brought up in a very loving atmosphere and
They're
more,
clear headed.
they're clear-headed. They're looking for a friend, right?
Yes, yes.
They know where to draw lines, right?
Exactly, exactly.
In these kids, the tendency of falling for somebody so intensely,
Yeah.
and believing that this is the be all and all of the life is, I think, generally less against
Yeah.
those kids who were deprived of love completely,
Correct.
right? But yeah, back to relationships, right? It can be a beautiful thing if you have the right person, but you don't find right person again. If you are clear about what you want from your life, and how you're building yourself every day, you will see, sometimes you will be rejected by those people who you think are the most easiest to get, but those people you had never imagined will come in your life, right? So you have to let nature take its course. You have to focus on what is important in life.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you think that, there is a term called a right partner and a wrong partner?
Yeah, it is there. See, I'll come back to the same thing.
Who is right? How can you say that
No,
this person
definitely
X
not.
is right, Y is not right for me? How can you? It's all about compatibility, right?
Correct.
Two good people cannot be in a relationship. Have you ever observed that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a very age-old saying, right? That the like poles repel. See, I'll tell you what happens is, I always keep giving this example, good or bad, whatever. Let's say there are two people who are suffering with the same disease.
Right.
Okay. They're lying down in the hospital next to each other. Right. Both of them have the same symptoms, same illness, same suffering. All right. Now they can exchange sorrows, really sympathize, empathize with each other,
Yeah.
but they cannot treat each other.
Exactly.
Correct. Similarly, if you think that I went through all this trauma in my life, you went through, you can understand each other because we have had maybe similar problems and traumas. But can we heal each other? That's a question.
Yes.
Right. Same way, it's because for this kind of disease, you need a doctor. Right. Similarly, you need to have somebody who is matured, good, and maybe better in a certain way. And you could be entirely different.
Right.
But there is something between the two of you that is binding you together. And that something is what you need to identify. Right? Like I can be, good in 10 things, and you could be good in 10 entirely different things.
Right.
So personalities could be different. Our likes, dislikes, what we want could be entirely different. But still, we realize that this missing part is being completed by this person.
Correct.
Right? When that understanding, that requires a lot of, self-reflection, introspection,
Actually.
and then space, accepting that person's flaws. Because you say that, I can't sit and watch TV with this person because I don't like it. But still, there is one thing that I can do only with this person.
True.
Right? That's when it becomes love. And of course, it's not to say that people who have similar tastes and hobbies or similar likes and dislikes will not become good friends. But the strong love is that despite all this, all the differences in their likes and dislikes and strengths and weakness, yet there is something that you feel that only this person can complete. I think, according to me, that's the most beautiful relationship.
Okay, then please answer this. Why do you think there are a lot of breakups these days?
This again, there's a couple of things. One is you don't understand yourself well, right? And at one point, you feel that this person is the love of my life because I always wanted a good looking person, nice person, kind person, a person who has money. So that's your fantasy that you created in your mind. Generally, actually, that was not your want, but that was your fantasy.
Right.
And as soon as that person comes, you feel like my life is complete.
Yes.
But then you start coming to terms with reality and you feel, now all this I already have. So what is it? Right? So you start to kind of, withdraw. And also sometimes it's an evolutionary process.
Exactly. I wanted to emphasize on this point.
The transformation.
Transformation happens every 7 years or 10 years. We keep changing.
Sometimes some people do it much quicker and some people don't transform at all.
Yeah. So whenever you evolve as a human being, as an individual, your likes, your dislikes, your choices in life, everything changes. And same person who is there in your life will not be the same interesting also.
Yeah.
Your liking, will keep changing. So that's where I think I have seen, there is some friction.
Yeah. See, I'll tell you one thing.
Complaints start and all that.
Again, this is a very, very large topic to discuss on because I have personally seen a lot of people, let's suppose wife and husband, they got married. Or let's stick to the youth, they made a career choice. Okay. But alongside that, they stuck to their values, right? That I will achieve anything in my life. To achieve, I have to transform, evolve, learn, educate myself, move forward. But my value is that I'm going to stick to this woman, no matter what I become. Right? So you should have the ability to distinguish between your achievements and your value system. Right? A lot of people think that my achievements means my intellect, that I'm an intelligent person.
Correct.
Right? And this person has not changed. So now we can't get along. Right? But if that person is very firmly rooted to the idea of his value or her values, then the possibility of splitting or breaking up goes down. Right? And of course, the other partner also, because when the person is growing, right, it is this person's value system to say that no matter what he becomes or she becomes, my value is to be with him or her and not have angst, jealousy, resentment, or demanding and all of that coming in between.
Exactly. Even these are very
that requires a lot of care. So yeah, it's very important for both the partners to keep the idea of compatibility, love, the deep friendship that we have separate from achievements, right? I know it's a lot of work that you have to do, but once you start, bringing in achievements, whether it's wealth or your career progression or your accomplishments, your fame, as your central focus area, and you start believing that now you become a better person, more intellectual, more smarter, then the rift is bound to happen.
Yeah. But let me ask you one last question. Which age do you think is the right for all this? I mean, the discussion which we had is more suitable for people who are more than 25, 24, where they understand the world, where they understand what career is all about, the importance of having their life sorted and all that, right? So, but how about youngsters who are in high school, who are just having a fantasy of having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and they get into addictions, relationships, and all. So, what do you have to say?
I think on this video, it's difficult for me to put a finger on, right age per se. But uh, I think till 16, 17, it's the parents' responsibility to not have a hawk eye on them and, give them instructions and try to tell them what is right or wrong. But maybe to a certain extent, by the way of bonding, understand their child. And if they feel that they're getting distracted, then, somewhere nurture them. But if, when any person who is clear about what they want to become as an identity in their life, right? Their focus should always be on creating themselves, 100%. And during that, if they fall in a relationship or they find somebody who is complimenting, somebody who's encouraging them, I think then the age issue really doesn't come because I know a lot of people who fell in love at the age of, 12, 13, 14, and then eventually got married to the same person and had a beautiful career together.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I also know of people who after 25, 30 got married or, got into a relationship, but then they fell apart.
Correct.
In love marriage. I'm not talking about arranged marriages. Right. Yeah, but just like there are certain prescribed ages for alcohol, smoking, or watching this and that, there should be, I think that till the time you're, 16, 18, right? I think you should focus on what is more important, and you should have a very healthy, beautiful relationship with. If you're a girl, have good relationship with boys, no problem. If you're a boy, you have wonderful relationship with girls. Sit, hang around, eat, go to joints, movies, whatever that is. And but again, at the top of your mind, you should have your priority, right? This is what I want to become. Whether I want to settle down in an arranged marriage, whether I want to be a homemaker, whether I want to be a scientist, an artist, an artificial intelligence expert, or whatever that is, that should always be your priority, not the relationship. Right. And also never think that relationships are pastime or a time pass. I'm just no. You should give every relationship its due, its importance. You should, if you are spending time with somebody, you should give that devoted time to that person, right? Whether it's through entertainment or through learning through each other, supporting each other, whatever. There shouldn't be any vested interest or agenda in that relationship, right? Except good companionship, right? Except for helping each other, motivating each other, encouraging each other, and having beautiful moments, right? If your intentions are right, okay, you are not manipulating, using somebody for your personal needs, then there is no right and wrong age. That means you have attained maturity, right? And I think some people get maturity at 15, some don't get matured even at 50. Correct. So I think I'd like to put it that way. Yeah.
I think it's for me, when you ask me, like I feel it's the prime responsibility of the parents to have a very transparent communication at home, so that child doesn't hide away anything. Like if a girl is meeting a boy and if she's finding him interesting, rather than telling it to her friends, I think the atmosphere at home should be in such a way that she comes home and talks to her mother or father.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
becomes very interesting,
Yes, wonderful.
And see, parents should not judge them. Rather, they have to listen, laugh, and these are all the part of the game. I mean, when
the
when
growing up,
children
yeah.
are growing up, so parents, when they don't become judgmental and when they are having keen ears, okay, I think the relationship will become beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
That emotional maturity will develop only when parents sit with the children
Absolutely.
and
No
give
two ways
them
about
that space.
100%.
That's when they don't seek validation from outside.
Absolutely.
And then in the journey, if they meet someone, if they feel that this person is actually helping me out, or probably complimenting me, or as a part of my journey, he's also there, she's also there, that becomes more beautiful.
Absolutely. So I'll also like to conclude by the two things. All right. So because I'm also a father of two daughters, one of them is almost completing her teens, another one is stepping into teens. See, when somebody gets into a relationship, an intense relationship, or a deep friendship with somebody, right? Either that person has attained the real maturity of saying that I know this person is perfect. And if there's something that goes wrong, it's on me.
Right.
If that person is in doubt, he or she wants validation from the person he or she is closest to. And that closest should be the parent.
Exactly. That's
That's
what
it.
I was trying to tell you.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We are on the same page.
Yes, yes.
So great, Rohini. Wonderful talking to you.
Thank you. And it's the same here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me over.
Thank you.